Espérame.
Vamos en 1, 2, 3, action.
Hello, my friends. Here once again, your financial marathon coach, Walter Abreu, Abreu, here with PowerUp Manuel, the entire team on air. Happy to be here. Happy to partake once again with you all on a low budget teaching. Low budget joke. You don't have to pay for this. This is free encouragement, free sharing, free livelihood. Well, it's not free. Let me tell you why it's not free. I had to count the cost. I had to count the cost on what it took to get to where we're at today. You know, there's a cost to be counted on the workmanship, the dedication, the burden, the bump, the scratches, the bruises, the cuts, the hurt, the pain, the tears. It all has a cost. Everything has a cost. We just got to know how to count the cost in reference to us moving forward, being aggressive, and having the fortune of being balanced and having God's favor in our life as we move forward towards our every step that we take is a training to our success. And my fortitude and my livelihood has to do today with teaching, showing, sharing the benefits, the causes, the effects on how to get to the finish line with your mortgages, with your investments, with your knowns, with your unknowns, with your be knowns. We're gonna walk you through to get to the financial freedom. A few things are detrimentally important is our guidance, our teaching, something that we have to understand. It's known to be said that springtime is talked about as they say is the best time to invest, right? In slower economic times, we put in the work diligently to planting seeds and cultivate innovative, strategic approaches to real estate that help our clients and ourselves prepare for whatever weather comes our way. So, in this issue, we're exploring the many ways our industry, which is real estate, investment, title, insurance, it all is all combined, is growing and flourishing. Our experts detect what's driving data centers development. There's a lot of data centers being developed nowadays in the way that we're investing our monies. An investor called me the other day in reference to bringing equity partnership into the data center space. Take a real close look at the hidden tightness in office availability. There's not much out there. That's a new era of investments. There's a light that's being shined upon the multifamily housing innovations. Plus, we map out strategies to build confidence in the workplace space that we're trying to develop to have people invest with us, invest in our knowledge, invest in our proclamation that we can take them to the next level. These are just a few of the light bulb moments our team has held, my team, and in reference to other teams in the space of investments and teaching people how to invest in real estate in this season so far. Okay, I invite you to read through and reach out directly to me and any of my team members with your inspirational questions. And we're here to serve. Please. I just wanted to share that with you. Also, I want to share something that's of great importance for me, and is a part of the development of the spirituality that we ought to have in the balance. So you have emotional stability, you have physical stability, mental stability, and you have spiritual stability. those have so much to do with our maturity in servitude, our maturity in how we express ourselves, and the maturity that we have in establishing our relationships, but most of all, in the maturity of our established and to be established spirituality. You see, the spirituality is what developed me to be who I am today, where I want to take my life and the life of the people that listen to me, or I share with, or I have the humble opportunity to talk to. You know, it's not to be a given. It's not to be taken for granted, much less. It's very humbling that I do consider myself, and I say this in a very humble fashion. And I say this, and I don't say it frequently, but I do say it when when the time is correct. I say to many people when they ask me how I am, I says, imagine how I am when I can express to you that after Jesus Christ, I'm God's second favorite son. Those are powerful words. But it's even more powerful how I feel when I say that. Because I say that with the kind heart that I have to serve others. I serve others with my way of being. I want to think, what would Jesus do? Remember years ago they had that the band everybody was wearing, the WWDD. What would Jesus do? WWJD. And that is so powerful because we should be thinking about what would Jesus do in a moment like this? What would he say? How would he say it? How would he express himself? What kind of service he would give to the people around him? You know, a lot of times we say things without saying anything, without opening up your mouth, without sharing a word, without being sarcastic, which I am sometimes, and which is not good. It's kind of funny sometimes, but sometimes it isn't because you're not being kind. And it's good to be kind. I want you guys to go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13. There's a very deep spiritual saying verse there, which I want you guys to study to show thyself approved, a workman that knows how to divide the word of truth appropriately. Alrighty? And again, it's a great incentive to be here with you all today. So much is happening in the industry. People are asking me. I go to there's a car wash I go to several times a week. I have a monthly membership, and the guy is always asking me, the owner, what's happening this week? And what do you see? And I heard, and some guy that comes here is also telling me that this and that. It says, the next time somebody comes to give you some insight, advice, or anything thereof that has to do with real estate, I want you to boldly ask them. I say this. What are you doing in real estate? Where are you investing? Where is your money planted? What do you believe in? Ask them. I guarantee you 99.99% they're going to tell you they're not doing anything because they're scared. They're scared. You see, scared money doesn't make any money. So those who are scared, let them stay scared. Okay? Let them be on a different page than you. You have to be an optimist, not a pessimist. Okay? Christopher Columbus was not a pessimist. Okay? Martin Luther King was not a pessimist. Okay? John F. Kennedy was not a pessimist. Donald Trump is not a pessimist. Okay? He's an entrepreneur, business leader. And my hat's off to him with everything he's done in the last several weeks. And we're going to close today with some information reference to tariffs and what's happened in the last 3 weeks. Reference that. But first, I want us to go to some guidance. We're gonna read on. Let me see where it's at. Okay, we're going to go through 7 steps to achieve financial freedom and retire early. It's not per me. I'm bringing you information that I searched out. This is actually a study in Forbes and in several other financial gurus have given these 7 tips, and I want to share these with you. There's 7 steps to financial freedom. Typically, include defining clear financial goals, creating a budget, paying off debt, building an emergency fund, investing for the future, diversifying income, and maximizing savings. I shared this in our other show in Spanish. The only difference between that one and this one, that one had 8, this one has 7. Obviously, the Spanish always have to add a little bit more spice to something, you know. That's just is a part of our nature, a part of our genes. But this is about establishing a foundation of financial security and working towards a long-term financial independence. So what this is going to do is going to help us count the cost of getting from where you're at now to where you want to be when you're standing in front of that finish line, that goal of having financial freedom. Please allow me. Thank you, Manuel. I needed that. Let's get back to it, everyone. So let's go down the line. First and foremost, please be aware that this is a part of the balance. Okay? So when I say the part of balance, you can add to this or you can take away from it as long as it balances you out. These are 7 major topics. And we're going to run through each and every one of them so we can talk about them, have them present. And again, this along with the balance of your energy. Okay? Because running this marathon, you're going to get scuffed at the knee. You're going to get scuffed in the elbow. I mean, you could even faint and fall on your face. We have to be ready for that. It's part of the resistance, our growth, you know, and growth has pain attached to it. That's why they call it growing pains, because you have to go through the grind in order to get to another level. Levels are not given out. They're conquered. Levels are fought through. Levels are fought for. So if you think you're gonna get somewhere, boop, you're gonna sit down and it's all gonna fall at your table, you got another thing coming, because it's not gonna happen. That's a lie of the devil. So there's nothing for free. There's no free rides. And like I shared in the Spanish version, I'm gonna share it in the English version. If it sounds too good to be true, it sounds too good to be true. It usually is. So let's be fortitude in studying, or fortified, and have the fortitude through the study of being fortified through the study of this financial freedom we're going to have. And we're going to have it because I'm going to declare it for you as I'm working towards it every day, because it's an everyday marathon. This is not a circumstantial marathon where it ends at any particular time, but we're going to achieve in different instances different goals through the marathon. So let's put that in perspective, right? So we want to achieve in the next 6 months, we're going to make, objectively, we're going to make a net profit of $100,000. Just make it a real number. Net profit, not gross, net. And remember, you have to study the gross and the net, because there's a cost for the gross and there's a cost for the net. You got to study that with your accountant. If you don't have an accountant, you need to call us. Republic Commercial Fund, 855-456-FUND, fund. Again, 855-456-FUND. Call us. We will work with you. We'll establish things with you. We'll share our information with you. We'll open our books to you. We'll give you our insight, our robust insight of what's happening in the market. We will introduce you to accountants, attorneys, tax preparers, insurance companies. We'll introduce you to all our relative resources to help you get to the next level. As an investor, as a real estate person, as just a student, you know. Speaking of which, we're preparing a live reality show for mortgages. Get ready. It's going to be through PowerUp because there is nothing that indicates to people on the reality show like there is for real estate and fix and flippers, but there's none for mortgages. And we're in the works of developing that just for you. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great show. It's gonna be extremely entertaining, and we're gonna make a big difference in the excitement of the space because there's a lack of knowledge, and people listen to other people who really don't know what they're talking about. But through our involvement with you and through PowerUp, we're gonna get our information out there. Believe me when I tell you. Let's go to number 1. Okay, here's a detailed or more detailed breakdown of these 7 steps. Number 1, define your financial goals. Okay, what does that mean? Clearly outline what financial freedom means to you. You've got to take that and break it down. You've got to look at it, look at it and kind of flip it around and look at it in different angles, 3D, but what it means to you, because what that means to you may not mean the same thing to me. You understand me? But between us 2 or us 3 or us 4,000, we're going to get to the proper place that you need to be at. Not me necessarily, because I'm here as a teacher. I'm here as an educator. I'm here as a coach to take you guys across the finish line to that financial freedom marathon that we're running. Again, clearly on number 1, again, define your financial goals. First, clearly outline what financial freedom means to you. This could include early retirement, paying off the home, buying a specific nest egg, whatever makes you happy, or simply having enough to cover your expenses without worry, without having to run out to try to find the way to pay the bills. Okay? Number 1 is very important. So you have to have that definition of financial freedom set aside. Alrighty? Let's go to number 2. Number 2 goes right after setting the stage for the financial freedom and what it means to you. Number 2 has to do with creating a budget. This is extremely important. Track your income, track your expenses to understand where your money is going. So this has to do with expenses and how you expense that surplus that sometimes we have every month and we're not really saving any money because we're spending it. Because we are a nation of consumers. Ask China. They know. They export 80% of their goods to where? You said it. USA. Number 1 consumers. But let's change that mindset. Let's change that mindset of always being consuming, and let's consume less and let's save more. So creating a budget. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Track your income and expenses to understand where your money is going. Identify areas where you can reduce spending and allocate more towards saving, debt, and repayment. You see, it already gives you the exit strategy. By you having a definitive track, a budget about your expenses and understanding where your money is going, this allows you to identify and reduce spending and allocate more towards your gains. Because when you're saving, you're gaining. You see it? Save, gain goes hand in hand. Okay, so number 1, define your financial goals. Number 2, create budgets. It's important. Let's go to number 3. Pay off debt. Wow. You didn't think that was coming. Yes. To reach financial freedom, You have to recycle your money. You can't put it all away. You got to have the balance. With the balance comes the incurring of debt, but the exit strategy of paying debt off, which makes your credit keep doing what? Elevation. So the elevating of the credit gives you the more empowerment on growing your debt, which incurs to grow your income, future producing capabilities. How so? Because when you incur more debt, you're incurring more credit by paying off the debt and growing that credit. I always tell people you are what you owe. And this is the truth. You know, you are what you owe, and the more you owe, they say the more you have to work, but that's not true. You see, the more you owe, the more you grow. That's the way I look at it. And there's so much reality to that, because God is going to give us so much more. And I have to mention God because my retention of life and where I am today from where I've been, and have to add to where I'm going, has to do with my higher power, my God. I love him with all my heart, mind, and soul. And you're going to see that without me opening my mouth and even telling you, because my desire is for you to be successful. You understand? And I'm not here asking you for anything. I'm actually giving you insight, mindset, understanding, growth, my scuffles, my rashes, my hurt, but my gains as well. Next, well, let's do a quick rundown. Number 1, defining your financial goals. Number 2, creating the budget. Number 3, you remember this one? It's a tough one. It's a tough one because we don't want to put that money out. Pay off your debt. Okay? Number 4, this is a very interesting one. And we all need to learn how to do this because it's a different level into our marathon. It says, build an emergency fund. Build an emergency fund. Wow. That's powerful. It says save 3 to 6 months of living expenses to cover unexpected costs, like job losses or medical emergencies. Again, this goes back to the balance of counting the cost. What's it going to cost to balance my past, present, and future? Well, this is it right here. This is it. Build an emergency fund that will keep you humble. You know, that's not necessarily savings, because that's there for an emergency fund. That's not a savings fund. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, so don't get them confused. Hello. Let's go to number 5, and this one is also very interesting because you are what you owe, but your debt's got to go somewhere. So, or it's got to come from something, right? Invest for the future. Start investing in diversified portfolios, including stocks, bonds, and other assets. Crypto can be another one, to grow your wealth over a long period of time. So this has to do, again, with short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. Because a part of the balance, investing into the future, has to do with you investing into diversification. You see, diversification will give you the amplitude to say, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that. And not necessarily being a pessimist, but being an optimist. Because an optimist says, I'm going to amplify. I'm going to amplify. And I'm going to look a little bit over here. You know what? I'll give you a perfect example. Warren Buffett. Do you know where Warren Buffett has made most of his money? You're not going to believe this. If you know the answer, call me right now. 855-456-FUND, F-U-N-D. If you know the answer to that, call me right now. 855-456-FUND. There's a prize for whoever knows the answer and call me first, and I'm waiting for the phone call right now. There's a prize. I'm going to give somebody a prize, and when you call me, I'll tell you what the prize is. I'm going to lead down the side, 855-456-FUND. Let me see who's going to call in and give me the answer to that good question. The question again was, Where has Warren Buffett made most of his money? Don't look it up. Well, if you look it up, you're going to be the first one to call. But it should be on the internet because it's real information. Warren Buffett has made the most money. I'm not telling you. You're going to call. You're going to have to call in. I'm waiting for your call. 855-456-FUND. So let's look at diversification. So this gentleman, Warren Buffett, has been extremely diversified. He's got money in everything. You know where he's made a lot of money? Not most of his money. He's made a lot of money in furniture. That's right. He's got plants that make furniture in North Carolina. He's invested a lot of money in furniture, and he's made a lot of money in furniture. But that's not where he's made most of his money. So we're waiting for your call. 855-456-FUND. Moving on. And next is diversify your income. Explore ways to increase your income streams, such as side hustles, freelancing, or starting a new business. Create more financial security, which will entail financial stability. I'll tell you a story about me, my past. Many moons ago, I had 3 jobs. I think I have 4. I worked my buns off. Yes. That's going to be in the book, so wait for it. You're going to read about it. I did 4 jobs. 3 were consistent. 1 was an offset moonlighting, but they were all very interesting. I worked very hard every day, 20-hour days. Yes, it were 20-hour days. They were tough. But I have a lot to show for it, a lot to talk about it. One of the main reasons that we're here is to bring forth the maximizing of my life, not only in a book, but in a series and here in this podcast that we're going to be doing continuous. I think we have like 12 sessions a month in the podcast world, if not more. We'll see as we diversify and grow this that we're trying to put out here to you in this marathon of coaching that I'm doing to you to get to that financial freedom and sharing all the insights there are in this world. More importantly, is that we do this together. We're going to do it together, and my resources are your resources. Manuel's here to help. His team is here to help. We're here to bring forth every achievement and also our failures to help you. You're going to be able to relate. You're going to be able to understand that we're going to empathize with you through the good and the bad, the highs and the lows. That is the main purpose of PowerUp Podcast, of your humble servant here for coaching you in this marathon. And we're going to put it together for you. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen together. You agree? Are you with me? Who's calling in on the Warren Buffett question? No one's calling in? 855-456-FUND, fund? Come on, somebody call in and give me the information, win the prize on where has Warren Buffett made his most money. Let's keep going. We're number 6. Explore ways to increase your income streams such as side hustles, freelancing, or starting a new business to create more financial security. This has to do with diversifying your income. Diversify. If something we learned through the pandemic in those 2 years of havoc is that you were doing just one job for 10, 15, 20 years, and it got to a placement of halting and stopping, and you had no other income stream, you were in trouble. You remember that? Do you remember that? You were in trouble. That was tough. Huh? Manuel, that was tough, huh, brother? That was terrible. Those times, if you didn't have a diversification, a way to improvise and implement different sources, wow, it was tough. And I feel for those who went through those tough times. But this has taught us to be diversified and have multiple streams of income, be it as you may. You know, if you're going to sell pens on the internet, sell pens and sell it proudly. You understand? And I'm sure you'll be able to get that side hustle in. Side hustles are good. It sounds kind of cheesy, kind of nonchalant, not too nice, side hustle. But there's nothing wrong with that. Side hustles are kids are selling lemonade on the side of the road. That's a side hustle. We have come to the number 7, which is the last one. And this one is very, very, very important. Maximize your savings. Continue to save a significant portion of your income and reinvest your profits to fuel your investments and accelerate your journey to financial freedom. It sums it up in a nutshell. You've got to prepare for the journey of the race of the marathon to your financial freedom. Basically, maximize your savings, put away a large portion, don't spend, but save. Save and don't spend. If you don't need it, don't buy it. I have found myself I'm a compulsive. Well, no, let me not say that. No declarations are negative. I was at one point in time in my life a consumer that was compulsive. Compulsive consuming that which things that I didn't even need. And I learned to ask myself the question, do you really need this? And I'm going to tell you something that does that to your psyche. Instead of you convincing yourself that you want something, you convince yourself that you don't need it. And this way you count the cost, you balance your money, you spend less, save more, have more to invest, have more to diversify, have more to grow from. Financial freedom is not achieved on a wing and a prayer. It's achieved by making decisive decisions that incur decisive action that will give you back instead of taking from you. Please keep that close. I'm going to run down these 7 real quick, before we finalize. I got a little bit more information I'm going to give you about the tariffs. But before we close up, let's go to the 7 steps of financial freedom. Typically include defining clear financial goals, creating a budget, paying off debt, building an emergency fund, investing for the future, diversifying income, and maximizing your savings. 1, define your financial goals. 2, create a budget. I hope you guys are getting this down. 3, pay off debt. That's a tough one, but you got to do it. 4, build an emergency fund. This is ultra important because this has nothing to do with savings. Please, this is not savings. This is a fund for emergencies, 911. Number 5, invest for the future. That one's a great one. Number 6, diversify your income, the side hustle. Get something else in the exchange of your monetary funding. Get something. Think about it. Create it. Design it. Whatever it might take, get to it. Don't leave that one out. And number 7, last but not least, continue to save a significant portion of your income and reinvest your profits to fuel your investments and accelerate your journey to financial freedom. This has a lot to do with what Trump just did. Maximizing the savings, which we weren't doing. We were spending $150 billion a month. $150 billion a month on tariffs, paying it out, on getting goods in and paying out for them. What an exchange. What an exchange of maximizing savings now that we're going to have. We're going to save just on tariffs alone over $1.5 trillion a year. What a difference. What a difference on balancing the budget. What a difference on maximizing the savings, which this gentleman, as an entrepreneur, and you and me, we need to do. We maximize our savings so the monies go to the right and appropriate avenues so our balance can be appropriate. I want to talk about one last thing, and it has to do with, I don't know if I shared this last time, but this is an important topic. In statistically concerning tariffs, the Tariff Commission was founded in 1887. Please look this up. Don't believe me. Look up the information. tariff commission was composed of a group that did just that. They collected tariffs so that everybody wanted to trade with the U.S. And do you know that that was the richest time of U.S. history? We had such a surplus that we had unsurmountable amounts of money available to us. That is where this gentleman is obviously trying to take us. Read into it. He's bringing that trade commission back to us, collect money on goods that are coming into the country, not paying it out. It's a privilege. We consume everything from everybody. Everybody wants to sell to the U.S. Everybody wants us to take their goods, but nobody wants to pay for ours. But we want to pay for yours. It's not happening anymore. Look at everybody who's coming over here to the U.S. Let's get some stats in here. Did you guys know? Listen to this. This is amazing. All in India, they love our motorcycles. They love Harley Davidsons. Look it up. They love it. That's the preferred motorcycle of India. Do you know how much we pay India in tariffs? 100%. Do you know what that means? That we're paying to ship our goods to India. We're paying them 100% of what it cost. That makes no sense. Here's some more stats. Canada. We pay Canada. This is like outrageous. We pay Canada 270% for them to consume our milk. What? Did you know that? We pay them 298% tariffs on butter. This is like stuff that doesn't make any sense. No one knew this, but we know it now because of the supposed trade war, which is not a trade war. That's a lie. It's fake news. This is an implementation of getting our house organized, balanced, in the right position so we can make strides and grow our company, our country. This is a company that we're trying to grow it, and this gentleman is going to do so. Just a few more stats. Let me see something else here. Very interesting. You got to like 500 billion as of this past week from Apple. Investment to U.S. Honda's coming over. Production from Mexico is coming over. Production from India is coming over. Hyundai is coming over, building a steel plant. Rolls-Royce is coming over. Hello? That's amazing. The Saudis have pledged $600 billion into infrastructure. EAU, $1.4 trillion into infrastructure, U.S. bound. Come on, guys. If this is not what we needed, I don't know what is. Let's thank the new administration for bringing us the financial freedom that we should be learning from, that we should be bouncing off ourselves from, so we can run this marathon with the goal that we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win with PowerUp. We're going to win with Republic Commercial Funding. Nobody called, but it's okay. I know you guys know the answer, but I'm going to give you the answer anyway. The answer to the Warren Buffett question on what he's made the most money on, he's made the most money on investment in Coca-Cola. That's right, folks. He diversified his money, and he invested into Coca-Cola. Listen, my time is up today for sharing my love and my attributes, my downfalls, my growth, my analogy, my life, my family, my sector of adding to your sector. Here, Walter Abreu, Republic Commercial Fund, 1-855-456-FUND. Please call us. Let us come into your world. Let us be your marathon coach who's going to take you to the next level. It's always a pleasure to having shared all this insight with you guys on giving you steps and procedures, especially these 7 that I was able to share with you, and also sharing with you the insight of the springtime investment time. And one last topic that I want to share with you is that usually for Lent, which is this time of the year, we usually want to fast about something. We want to set ourselves aside for not doing something that we really like to do so we can get a little bit more spiritual, I want to recommend the book. I want to recommend the book for you guys to grow off of. It's called Good Morning, Holy Spirit. Good Morning, Holy Spirit. Please, this is a book by Benny Hinn. It's written by Benny Hinn. It's a minor or small biography about him, but this is mainly on what the Holy Spirit truly means. It's an amazing book. You need to read it. You need to get it. Look for it. If there's none at Barnes & Noble, order it. They can order it for you. I've ordered them in the past, and I've given them away as gifts. Last time I ordered like 20, 25, and I gave them out as gifts because I wanted other people to understand the power of the Holy Spirit. That's about it for me today, folks. I want to thank you once again. I want to thank Manuel. I want to thank his team. I want to thank PowerUp. I want to thank the reinforcement of me coaching you to reach your financial freedom through our podcast. Look for us. We're here for you. We're here to help you. We're going to be alongside you. We're going to build a resistance. We're going to build your balance. We're here to serve you. Thank you so much. PowerUp, Republic Commercial Fund, here to serve you. Thank you once again. See you soon.